Hi everybody. In this video, we're going to read the next chapter of Enemy Spy. Chapter 20. Shredderman. The crowd didn't gasp. There wasn't even a moment of stunned silence. No, people giggled and groaned and said, "Oh, poor kid." "But I am," I shouted. I swung my backpack off. "And I can prove it." People were rolling their eyes, tisking their tongues. The chief was trying to get Sarge to drag me away. But I whipped out my digital camera and scanned back through the pictures I'd taken of the spies in the phony boulder. "Look," I said to Sarge. "This is proof. Who else would have these shots?" Sarge's jaw dropped as I thumbed through the pictures. "Scott," he said to the chief, "look at these." Now, Chief Yardlin was hanging over my shoulder, too. I said, "The FBI traced Shredderman to my house, but they took the wrong computer. Everything's on my computer. It's in my bedroom." People were starting to whisper. "My parents and Mr. Green are trying to protect me, that's all. They don't have anything to do with this. Actually, they're pretty mad about it. And if you still don't believe me, I can tell you what's in those classified documents. Not what they mean or anything, but they're 12 pages of calculations and diagrams of—" "Enough," Chief Yardlin said. "I believe you." Now everyone was talking 100 miles an hour. The crowd sounded like a giant computer buzzing for an internet connection. Dr. Voss had moved to the front of the crowd. She yelled, "And Mr. Green's the bouncer, isn't he? I knew it all along." I froze. Dr. Voss would fire him. But before I could figure out what to say, Bubba Bixby came tripping over the caution tape, yelling, "Mr. Green's not the bouncer. I am." "You?" Dr. Voss looked from Bubba to me and back again. I practically laughed out loud. I didn't have to explain anything, or lie. It was the truth. And boy, did it seem just. "But that doesn't make any sense," Dr. Voss cried. "You hate each other." "Well," I said, putting my hand on my new sidekick's shoulder, "the truth is that Bubba here is the bouncer." Bubba squared his shoulders. He stuck his chin forward a little. Then he cleared his throat and said, "I was only involved peripherally with what transpired. A fact I didn't want to disclose in this bucolic setting, but it's true." He made a muscle man pose with his arms and cried, "I am the bouncer." The kids from school all dropped their jaws. They were in total shock over everything, except for Trinity. She was bouncing up and down, clapping like crazy. She saw me looking her way and blew me a kiss. A kiss? Do superheroes blush? This one sure did. How embarrassing. Then the questions started flying at us. "What's the kid's name? How old are you, son? Where do you go to school? What gave you the idea for Shredderman? Did your parents have any idea you were breaking up a spy ring? What if they don't catch the other spy? Are you afraid for your life?" The chief was studying one of the images on the camera. "Look here," he said to Sarge. "I think we can pull a license plate off of this one." He headed back to the station house with my camera, calling, "Get the kid inside. We've got work to do." Sarge stepped up to the podium and said, "I'm sorry, but obviously things are developing at a very rapid rate. We'll keep you apprised as things unfold, and I'm sure Nolan will be happy to tell you more about his escapades as Shredderman when the dust settles." He turned to me and grinned. "Isn't that right, Shredderman?" I said, "Sure," then stepped closer to the microphones and pointed out to Chatty Adams. "Except for her. I'm not going to talk to her." Some people in the crowd snickered. I heard one say, "He's smart, all right." I fished the two battery packs out of my backpack and looked right at Chatty. "Missing these?" She let out a gargly scream, and Roy and her cameraman had to hold her back. I tossed the batteries on the ground and said, "Next time you think you can call someone a nerd, a geek, a fatso, a brat, or a wannabe Barbie and get away with it, remember the kids from Cedar Valley." I didn't call them those names, she cried, looking around. I swear I didn't. Sarge led me away from the microphones, but we'd only gone a few steps toward the station door when I heard something amazing. It started with one voice, a voice I'd recognize anywhere, Bubba Bixby's. Then the other kids chimed in, then adults. It was getting louder and louder and louder. By the time Sarge and I hit the station door, the whole crowd seemed to be chanting it. Shredderman, Shredderman, Shredderman. I stood there for a second and just listened. It was the sweetest sound I ever heard.